So at the end of the day, you're using a solution, NetSuite. It's a very powerful platform. But then you're using the SuitePeople capabilities now where you're tracking employee record information. And at the end of the day, the reason you're doing all of that tracking is because you want to do reporting, because you want to do some analytics. Eventually you'd like to tie all of that together for different areas of the business. But at the end of the day, what are your thoughts on the reporting? And this time maybe we'll start with Julie. Reporting and the analytics functionality and capabilities of what you've been doing and using with SuitePeople.
Well, I'm super excited about being able to have lots of reports at my fingertips because, of course, when I report up to the executive team, they always love to see reports. And in the past, it was me putting together my own report, which can be time-consuming. And so being able to just, at the click of a button, push out this, that, and the next, I think it's fantastic, and it's very well received.
Great. Amanda?
Well, the one thing that I found great about the reports, not only is it easy, as Julie mentioned, but they can be customized. So you can change the reporting to do whatever you need it to do. So whether it's turnover or the amount of hires, you can customize the reports. So that's a really nice feature. Not that we couldn't do that in the past, but it's very simple. NetSuite is user-friendly. It's a very simple product to use. And so the analytics piece is very simple, and the reports are, they're there, but you can customize the ones that are going to fit to your organization. So very simple process, very efficient.
Great. Patrick?
Yeah, so to kind of piggyback on what's previously been said, it's really at your fingertips, and a lot of the process and the reports that we were doing in Excel or outside of the system are now all automatically in there. So the turnover is a big one. That is one that our executive team focuses on each quarter. So that is one that we constantly track, and just signing into SuitePeople, it's right there, and you can track it by different. It's not just overall turnover. It can be by employee types, managers, departments. So it works really well.
Yeah, and actually one of our other beta customers as well, they're based in Wisconsin. I think I saw a couple of them in the room. One of the comments that they had made to us as we were going through the design sessions and design reviews was, wow, you guys are looking at developing exactly what we're asked to do daily or weekly or monthly, and then we have to create it in Excel and do what we need to do from a charting standpoint, and it's all going to be right there for us. We could just give our executives or give the right people access to the reports, and they can run their own analytics. So with that, I'll turn it over to Omer to show us some of the features.
Excellent. So let's dive into our reporting and analytics. So SuitePeople ships with over 80 actionable reports right out of the box from all areas, from time off to recruitment to government IDs, compliance, employees, etc. So you can track things like your headcount analysis and see how that has been changing over time. This is a very intuitive report. I can filter by departments or location, or I can segment the data in different ways. Let's go and take a closer look at, for example, two of our biggest departments, product and professional services. I can see that the headcount has been increasing, but this graph also shows me the headcount versus the turnover on the bottom side. So I can see in certain areas we have been losing some people on the product side. And that is interesting and something that we would like to see further. So let's zoom in on the product, split it by location, and see if we can pinpoint where are we having this turnover. Again, it shows me the hires and turnovers month by month. In this case, I can do it quarterly as well if I like. And I can see that in a particular location, Baltimore, we have had a recent turnover. I'm going to switch to our turnover analysis report and look at that a little bit closely. So product, team, Baltimore, turnovers. This is sort of what has been happening. We can see by voluntary and involuntary turnover, but what concerns me is that we had 16 turnover employees who left voluntarily, and that's something to look into. And that's because of either there was dissatisfaction with the supervisor or they found another job. So you can track all of those reasons and make sense of what's happening with the data. On the involuntary side, we had some regretted turnovers as well, people who left or had to leave, and that is because we eliminated some positions or changed the organization structure. And that makes sense because in this particular example, you may have had a reorg, or you may have had a situation where there was a merger or anything of that sort. So you can really drill down on the reasons and see what is happening, and maybe worth a conversation with your HR, within your HR department, or with the department head, or with the CEO of the company. So it gives you good insights into the data, lets you drill down and see why it's happening. And these are just some examples I gave you, head counts and turnovers. You can also look at other things like gender equity ratios, or things by department, location, subsidiary, all sorts of reports that I mentioned earlier on are available in NetSuite. And if you're using standard NetSuite functionality, you might be familiar that you can actually customize these reports and tailor it to your needs, and it's very powerful from that perspective.
Right.
Anything, Jonathan?
No, I think you've covered everything quite well.
Okay, we'll switch back here. Okay, so we'll thank you very much to our guest speakers here.